Today we have to do Upanishad. Yes. Upanishad also is from Third Veda. Upanishad means the Atmanaha Upadesha. Upanishad means Upadesha. Pointing out a reality. Here it happens to be oneself. The science is also Upadesha, but it is not called Upanishad. Why? Because it doesn't put an end to samsara. In this word Upanishad, you have the implication of knowledge free from doubt, knowledge gained through conditions. The pramanam, knowledge is about oneself, and it is something that annihilates, that removes the samsara. Now, these qualities, characteristics don't apply to science, even though it is Upadesha, but it is not Tattva Upadesha. It is more of a teaching about pratyaksha, talking about the physical world, which is an object of perception. It's not me. It's not the subject. The science doesn't talk about the nature of the subject, me. It talks only about the object. So, science, even though it is glorious, but still we can't call it Upanishad. We can't call it Upanishad. It may be Vijnanam, etc., etc. It is science, it's knowledge. It's knowledge about physical reality. That is okay. But it is not, we can't even call it as a Shastram. Why? Because it's not closely related to, it's not distantly or closely related to Atmajnana. You see? Whereas Vaidika Shastras like Siksha, Kalpaha, Niruktam, Chandas, Jyotisham, these are all, they can always be called Shastra. Because they have some connection with the Brahma Vidya. Some connection is there. But science, what connection? It has connection only with Sharira Yatra. Bas. Therefore, we can't even call it as Shastram. Amazing, such a great science. Therefore, anyway, leave alone Shastram, but we definitely can't describe science as Upanishad. Why? Science doesn't tell me who I am, what I am. What am I? What am I? Therefore, the science doesn't talk about the subject. It only talks about the details of creation. Therefore, it cannot be Shastra. Vedanta talks about the universe, which is a pratyaksha pramana vishayam. Even though it is a sense object, it talks about the universe in the context of unfolding its falsity. Vedanta talks about the universe to unfold its falsity, its oneness with the truth, its oneness with Brahman. Whereas the science talks about the universe not to point out its falsity, ऐसा कुछ नहीं. It doesn't talk. It only is looking for its cause, ultimate cause. It is a cause hunting education. See? It's all the time hunting for the cause. Whereas Vedanta has a vision about the universe as mithya and the subject as satyam. And it talks about the subject to show its being the satyam. It talks about the universe to show its being mithya. Where there is satyamithya bhava, there is no cause and effect relation. Where there is no cause and effect relation, that is a big problem. Because even inside the universe, science follows the method of cause and effect relation. This very cause and effect relation is within mithya. You see? The father is the cause, the son is the effect, let us say, but both the jivas are within the srishti, which is mithya. Curd is the effect, milk is the cause, both are a part of creation. All causes are a part of creation. All the effects also are a part of creation. It's a very big thing, a very big breakthrough, if we are very careful. All effects are a part of creation. All causes are a part of creation. The law of gravitation is the cause, and the things come back is the effect. Both are within creation. But what about the universe in its entirety, including my body, senses and mind? That is not an effect. It is mithya, it is an appearance. An appearance seen through lack of understanding about the truth. When I don't see the movement of the cloud, I see the movement in the moon. It is my distortion. When I am not careful, I see things wrongly. That's it. When I am not careful, I see things wrongly. That is called adhyasa. Similarly, I am seeing the universe and myself as an individual because I am not careful to see myself. Most valuable reality, my existence. When I don't see, I am all the time interested in my pleasures, not in my existence. You see? Even though fundamentally even I want pleasures for my existence. But existence cannot be sustained. Existence is eternal, to be discovered. Even peace cannot be derived, it is to be discovered. ये सारी बातें होते हैं, and therefore Upanishad cannot be, science cannot be called Upanishad. Therefore the one who is studying Upanishad, if one is the brilliant, he should study Upanishad. And if he is less brilliant, then he can become a science student. And if he is still less bright, then he can become an astrologer. And if he is still less bright, then he can just become a karmakandi. Yes, fine. It's nothing. The real brilliance is meant for understanding the truth. That is Upanishad. And therefore here this Atma Upanishad, only the teaching about the truth can be called Upanishad, because that alone liberates man from ignorance, self-ignorance, self-error and self-struggle. Self-ignorance, self-error and self-struggle. The 10th man is, when he is ignorant about himself, that is self-ignorance, that is self-error, struggle stems not from the truth. The struggle stems from ignorance about truth. Ununderstood triggers struggle. A reality, that is how the Veda says. Tatveva bhayam vidusho manvanasya is not understood by me. Nobody understands. Tatveva bhayam vidusho manvanasya. The one who doesn't understand, the so-called scholar in other realms, but he doesn't know himself. Such a so-called scholar, in his case, the very truth ununderstood by him triggers fear in him. Yes. Ignorance triggers fear means the truth. How does the truth ununderstood triggers fear? Because the truth ununderstood becomes misunderstood. And when I misunderstand myself, then I look at only a misunderstood look. And the misunderstood look of myself is frightening. You understand, the misconceived look of myself is the jiva. The misconceived look of myself is I am limited. The actual look of myself is that I am the subject, not the form. The misconceived look of myself is that I am a form. As a form, it's frightening. Why? Because it's non-eternal. The moment I look at myself as non-eternal, it's frightening. My view about myself is frightening. ये सारी बातें हो जाती हैं. Okay जी. There is a particular nyaya called Shakha Chandra Nyaya. This Upanishad, also Musha Nishikta Nyaya. We will tell about it. More than Shakha Chandra Nyaya, the other one is better. Patila? Patila, that's the only word I can only use. Because बड़ा पतीला होती है, उसमें थोड़ा छोटा डालो, फिर उसमें और से छोटा डालो, 5-6 पतीला एक ही में आ सकता है ना. This is Mosha Nishikta Nyaya. Meaning, subtler, bigger containing the smaller. Smaller containing the still smaller. You understand, छोटा बड़ा में रखो, वो बड़ा उससे भी बड़ा में रखो, उसको और उससे भी बड़ा रखो. These 5 koshas, the body, the senses, the mind, the intellect, annamaya kosha, pranamaya kosha, manomaya kosha, vijnanamaya kosha, anandamaya kosha. They are just each embedded in the other. The gross is embedded in the subtle. It is in this context Bhashyakara uses Sukshmatva, Pratyakta and Vyapakatva are proportionate to one another. The grosser, the less pervasive. The grosser, the more external. The grosser, the less pervasive. The grosser, more external. Then जितना सूक्ष्म होता है उतना प्रत्यक. प्रत्यक means more intimate to you, closer to you. And vyapakatva. Subtler it is, more pervasive it is. More pervasive it is and more pratyak, more closer to you. And therefore, subtlety, pervasiveness and closer to oneself, intimacy are all proportionate to one another. Are you able to follow these? जैसे सूक्ष्मता है वैसे व्यापकत्व है, जैसे सूक्ष्मता व्यापकत्व है वैसे प्रत्यक्त्व है। इस न्याय को फॉलो करेंगे इसमें आराम से। इट्स ऑल्सो इम्पोर्टेंट। These objects are grossest. The body is grossest and it is very, very less pervasive. And it is external. Right. Where the senses are little more, mind is little more, ahankara is little more, etc., etc. It is not, don't look at it as literally true. It is just a method adopted. Every prakriya has certain things to convey us. Every prakriya has its flaws. Because once we understand, the flaws are overridden. The flaws are overridden if you see the purpose for which the prakriya is there. When you are traveling in a train, the train has a flaw. It is not well maintained, etc. Keeping in view that reaching is more important. Once you know that reaching is more important than having a luxurious coach, ठीक है जी, पहुंचेंगे तो ना. This is called, in view of tatparyam, you should override the flaws of the journey. Yes, it helps you a lot in life. Tatparyam is very important. My daughter should be happy. It doesn't matter whether she lives in Madras or Calcutta or Bombay or Delhi or Meerut, क्या फर्क पड़ता है? She should be happy. In view of that, these things are overrated. In the light of the essential, the non-essential is overridden. Prakriya is a methodology. Tatparyam is the essential. Conveying my being not the form, and yet the Atma being not only not form, but it is the truth of all. It is eternal, etc. Therefore, conveying my nature to myself is the Tatparyam. But the Prakriya has always a flaw. If you say, Bhagavan created the universe, supposing you say, then why did he create it? It's a flaw. You have to answer. But all these questions can be pushed under the carpet in view of the fact that this method is only interested in conveying that everything is one. Supposing you say the water created all the waves, then you ask the question, why did it create all the waves? See, we say the water created the waves out of itself just to show that all waves are water. Bas itna hi hai. Not to create any history. In history you can have questions. Why did Gajani invade him? What is the answer? And if you give me the answer, that very answer, I can have a question about that answer. There is no answer for which there is no question. Just as every question has an answer, every answer also has a question. I can question every answer. I can question every answer in this world. Why did he? Why did he? Why did Bhagavan create? He was alone. Why was he alone? Why did he feel lonely? Why did he feel lonely? All this, you see, once the prakriya starts, once there is a methodology, this methodology is more like a story. This story is meant to convey a tatparya. Like Ramayana is a story to convey dharma. To convey dharma. That is the tatparyam. Mahabharata is a prakriya. It is a dharmic prakriya really. It may be true or it may not be true, we don't know. That's not important. But supposing you want to analyze who is better, who is this, who is that, people, you can never end. The analysis, the criticism about Mahabharata is never ending. But you don't bother all these things if you understand that Mahabharata is meant to convey jaise karoge, vaise bharoge. That is the principle. Life is ultimately what takes you to happiness is dharma, decency, fairness. If you are not fair, you lose everything, including yourself. ये तो पक्का है. If you are not fair, you will lose everything, including yourself. It's gone. It's a question of time, T. Every bully has to get into trouble one day. It's a question of time. Because God sends a match to every bully in this world. Yes. God sends a match to every bully in this world. If there is a bully, like you see 9/11, and now see what has happened. They were really, the world was shivering, what to do. And we were the worst sufferers during that time. At the right time it happened. Attention was diverted. I'm telling you. There is a divinity, there is a reality, and the truth has, not by its volition, it is the law of the truth to throw up the divinity in a given form to match a bully. Yes. It is the law of the truth to throw up the divinity in a given form to match a bully. It's called avatar. And there are various sizes of avatar. Chota avatar, bada avatar, bada avatar, bada avatar, bada avatar. So just as Mahabharata, that is the message of Mahabharata. You can't say more about dharma than this one statement. Jaise karoge, vaise bharoge. You can't say more than that. And that is the tatparya. You can't say more than that. You can't say more than that. What can you say? Jaise karoge, vaise bharoge naturally implies rebirth. Naturally implies continuity of the self. Naturally implies so many things. Law of karma. Naturally implies Ishvara. The whole Veda comes. You touch the Veda, you touch one bit of Veda, you touch the whole Veda. You touch one bit of the ocean, you are touching the whole ocean. The impact is on the whole ocean. You touch the person on one minute and the whole person is touched. It is not possible to touch one law of karma and not touch the whole Veda. You see, because it goes on implying. One doesn't have time to see the implying. Therefore, you go into, even Karma Kanda implies Vedanta. Because why karma? Karma kanda means what? Rebirth, continuity of the jiva. And continuity of the jiva, common sense says, implies eternity. Eternity means unlimitedness. Means what? Satyamitya bhava. You see? Like every drop of the ocean implies every other drop. समझ में आ रहा है ना? And therefore, jaise karoge, vaise bharoge. Can you say more than that about dharma? कुछ भी नहीं. Just as that is the tatparyam of dharma. And supposing whether it is this story or that story, the tatparyam is only jaise karoge, vaise bharoge. And if somebody says, no, I don't believe in it, there will be a match. You understand? Did not Duryodhana have a match? Did not Jarasandha find a match? These are all bullies. These old time bullies, I'm telling you, these are all old time bullies. In the same manner in Vedanta, all the Puranas have two tatparyas. One is dharma, the other is moksha. Purana implies each other. In Purana you have dharmopadesha and also brahmopadesha. In Puranas there is dharmopadesha as well as brahmopadesha. If it is not properly followed, then you only think of the story, not the tatparya. In Vedanta also, tatparya means every prakriya has some flaw. But in the light of the tatparya, it's okay, perfect. It conveys the tatparya, good enough. If you take it literally, it has flaws. If it is meant to convey that particular 17 elephants wala. 17 elephants? You know that? But the 18th elephant was given away. 17 elephants, there was a father who had, I think, 3 sons, and he had 17 elephants. And he says, apne aapas mein baant lo. And he died. This guy handing over the problem and dying. And then, how do you divide 17 elephants among the 3? Then they went to a neighboring king who happened to be a Vedanti. Then he said, all right, I will give you my own elephant, make it 18. And the stipulation was, one has to get half and 1/3 and 1/9. Okay? You all remember much better than I do. So out of 18 elephants, the one got, the eldest one got 1/2, and the second one got 6. 1/3 is 6 out of 18. And the third one got 1/9, 2. So 17 हो गया. And वो एक एलिफेंट रह गया, वो अपना वापस ले लिया राजा. अपना एलिफेंट वापस ले लिया. Now one way, ऐसे it is meant to solve a problem, that's all. It may have flaws, this and that, that's a different matter. But it has solved the problem. Prakriya solves the problem. It doesn't solve the problem in a cunning manner, it solves the problem in the most sophisticated manner. It conforms to the truth. Not in a cunning manner, not in a diplomatic way, in a logical way. Yes, all that we do is all the waves are born of water, sustained by water, go back into water, they are not events. Maya, and therefore all waves are water, that is Tatparya. They are born of water is Prakriya, they are water, Tatparya. We have to pick up quickly this difference. They are born of water is Prakriya, therefore they are water is Tatparya. Everything is born of the self is Prakriya, they are the self. Everything is one. This is one prakriya. This we will see. But today, being Ram Navami, let us make a beginning. नहीं तो राम जी नाराज हो जाएंगे. प्रक्रिया के बारे में बोलते गए, हमारा उपनिषद को शुरू ही नहीं किया. The teacher is Angiras. The old rishis, see, one thing is, in this Vedic culture, most of the ancient teachers were rishis. It is the rishis who taught to. Rishis were, it is the grihasthas who sustained Vedic culture. Sannyasa also was there alongside, but when it comes to sustaining Vedic culture, it is the grihasthas, rishis. Every Vaidika grihastha is a rishi. Rishi is not another species. Rishi is not like that. Every grihastha who is a Vaidika is a rishi. He is a rishi. He is living for Brahma Vidya. He is a rishi. That's why in this country we have only rishis and swamis. But after when Shankaracharya came, he said the Upadesha, it is better that it is given by sadhus. Before that there was a Rishi Sampradaya, Rishi. It is Arsha. Arsha means, Rishi Sampradaya. Our trust also Arsha Vidya Mandir. Arsha means this. Rishi Sampradaya. Rishi Sampradaya. Now, Rishi Sambandha is called Arsha, Tadhita hai. ऋषि संबद्ध, ऋषि संबंधित, ऋषि के साथ जो संबंध रखता है उसका नाम आर्ष. But it makes no difference whether the teacher is a rishi, whether he is a grihastha or a sannyasi. Shankaracharya said something. Because a rishi, if he is a grihastha, somehow or other, there is always lack of vairagya. Thoda triti hoti hai. Let the Mahatmas, those who have become sannyasis, let them teach. ऐसा करके चले गए. अब उसको we can't do much about it. अब क्या करेंगे? But there are grihasthas also who teach. In Kanchi Kamakoti, in all these Shankaracharyas, in all Shankara Matas, a grihastha comes. He plays the role of a teacher. यहाँ पर बैठते हैं. जो होने वाला जो शंकराचार्य जी है, junior, the one who has to be groomed, he is already given sannyasa. He is a sannyasi. He is a sannyasi. He sits in front of him as a shishya. But the one who teaches is a grihastha, a scholar. He has to teach. But sometimes Shankaracharya himself, the Acharya sits in the Acharya seat, like this, Ajata Shatru and Gargya. So the Gargya said, all right, you sit up, I will sit down and still I will teach you. Similarly, sometimes Shankaracharya, who needs to be taught, he sits up, and the Acharya who teaches, he sits down. But then even Shankaracharya is initiated into Vedanta by a Guruji may give a mantra diksha. Guruji may give vastra diksha. Vastra de dete hain. He gives the vastra. And he gives the mantra. But for thinking people, it should make no difference at all, whether he is a grihastha, a sannyasi, or a brahmachari. The one who is clear, he can convey. Yes. Here the teacher is Angiras. Athaiva Angiraha. Angiraha. This Acharya, now the Rishi Angiraha teaches. Now he begins. And his first teaching is like this, very, very beautiful. He is very, very, I like this approach. Like Panchakosha, Vivarana, this is also. It is Atmatraya Vibhaga. Atmatraya Vibhaga. There are three Atma. Trividaha Purushaha. Trividaha Purusha. The Atma is threefold. Purushaha means the Atma. Even the word Purushaha should be understood in contrast to an object. It can help you a lot. Purushaha means a conscious being in contrast to a material object. One is Vishaya, the other is Purusha. It's like the form and the sight. The sight is conscious. Eye is a medium, but the sight belongs to the Purusha. Eye doesn't see. Therefore, this Purusha, the word, if you dwell on this word Purusha, it conveys its intrinsic meaning of a conscious being in contrast to creation. Words have their capacity, Shakti. Every Shabda has its Shakti. And it gives up its Shakti. You see, Purusha, very beautiful term. Purusha. Purusha means a conscious being. And if this Purusha is threefold, what are they? Who are they? Tadyatha Bhahyatma. The first Purusha is Bhahyatma, means the external self. This body is called external self. Why it is called a self? Because I look at it as myself. So it is viewed myself. It is viewed myself. Therefore, this is my external self. This is the external self. This is viewed. I take it as myself. It is called Bhahyatma. It is not Atma. It is viewed Atma. Therefore, the Shastra for the time being says it is the external Atma. Bhahyatma, the entire anatomy. Only that anatomy is called Bhahyatma. Just the form part of it. Then the second Atma is Antaratma. Antaratma is the conscious being in equation with the body. Don't take it as a Sukshma Sharira. Antaratma includes the Sukshma Sharira. Antaratma is immediately you touch, you hit the conscious identity. In the Bhahyatma, it is just the anatomy, just the inert. And I can explain this way. And anatomy is my external identity. Even though he says three Atmas, I would like to call it as three identities of the same. This form is my external most identity, but Kalpita identity. Okay? Antaratma, then Paramatma Chaiti. And then there is the third one is Paramatma. And close it. Today is Ramanavami, children are at home. So during Ramanavami they all become Ravanas. Instead of being Rama, Hey Ramachandra, my external most identity, my physiological, my anatomical identity, then my physiological identity, then my soul conscious identity. Three. My anatomical identity is an error. My physiological identity is Kalpita, an error. My identity as the soul conscious being is the Paramatma is my actual, natural, intrinsic identity. Look at yourself with a lot of kalpita identities with one true identity. There are not many entities, there are many identities. Yes. Husband, father, son, there are not many entities. The same person has many identities. All of them are kalpita. All of them are kalpita except one. Because you can't have two true identities. You can have two kalpita identities. You can have two false identities. Like, you can be a wife, you can be a mother. Both are false. But you are just an individual. I mean, as an individual, that is your true identity. Yes, that is the true identity. Like to be a baby is one identity, that is a kalpita identity, false identity, notional identity. And what a true identity. Thus, don't think in terms of entities, only one. There are many identities. All of them are false except one. Bahyatma is a false identity. Antaratma also is a false identity. And Paramatma is true identity. But here I want to make one point clear. In other parts of the scripture, the word Antaratma means Paramatma as the Ishvara, Antaratma. Antaratma generally in the Shastra is used unobjectifiable self. As objectifiable it is Bahya. As subject one is Antaratma. This is very beautiful, the Antaratma. The entire dream is Bahyatma, and the one who is aware of it is Antaratma. Because minus all that you objectify is all that you know, minus that is what you are really. We are minus all that we objectify. Yes. All that we objectify. It is bereft of the known, devoid of the known. Known means here objectified. Therefore, the word Antaratma is used in the other parts of the scripture as the unobjectifiable self. But here it's taken as identified with the subject, as identified with all the faculties is called Antaratma. As body, I am Bahya. As identified with all the faculties, I am Antaratma. As one without a second, the Paramatma. Now, I will tell you, think this in a very deep way. You can't have false identities without ultimately a true identity. Any identity that can be replaced by another identity, any identity that can be replaced by another identity is a false identity. Now you are a housewife, now you are a mother, etc., etc. They are all replaceable. But none of them can replace your being a conscious individual. So within the Vyavahara, that is the true identity. But if you take the Paramartha, if you go still beyond, even this individuality is a false identity. That waker is replaced by the dreamer, dreamer identity, waker identity, etc. But all of them are replaced. They are all false identity. What about sleeper? Sleeper if you look at sleeper as a third identity is false. But if sleeper identity is not another, it is only in the waking. Peaceful identity is the true identity. Peaceful. One is peaceful. That is the true identity. Waking identity is bothersome. Dream identity also is bothersome. Even the thought that I will go, that is, I will sleep forever, that is also bothersome. But peaceful identity is no bothersome. Anyway, okay, these are the three. Think about it. Don't think of three entities. Think of your three identities. And all our sociological identities come within the first two identities. Now, I am going to tell you something very, very important. If you live in the society, you have these three identities. Okay? If you live in a cave alone right from childhood, you alone you are living. Even then you have three. Therefore, any other extra identity created by the society has to fall. Yeah. Therefore, the view of an individual as entertained by Veda cannot be changed. The Veda's definition of man cannot be changed. Why? Because even if you become a prime minister, you have only Bhakyatma, Antaratma, Paramatma. If you become a Bill Gates, you have only three identities, Bhakyatma, Antaratma, Paramatma. If one is a beggar on the street, he is Bhakyatma, Antaratma and Paramatma. Therefore, the time is not going to change this. Like the time cannot change the three states. A caveman had three, a modern man also has three. I am sure Ravana had three, Rama had three, Hitler also had three. Why? Because divinity doesn't have any bias. Divinity says, सबको एक ही देंगे, जैसे करे वैसे मरेंगे. हिटलर को भी दे रहे हैं थ्री स्टेट, जैसे करे वैसे मरे, उनको भी दे देंगे. Yes. Okay, now what is Bhakyatma? This is such a wonderful thing. What we value most is our Bhakyatma. And what is this Bhakyatma? Tvak. Tvak means just skin. Then charma, dermis, within that, thoda sa interior. Tvak, charma. No wonder somebody said, all beauty is skin deep. You go beyond the skin, it's all a big horror story. Yes. It is not. Therefore, don't fall for these things. Don't entertain illusions in mind. Don't entertain illusions in mind. They are nothing. Flesh is nothing. Objects are nothing. There is nothing like truth. Subject. Tvak, charma, nakha, and the nails. So you have to look at it, you have to keep your skin fine, nails fine, polished, etc. Mansa, then flesh. These are all called really our external food. Roma, hair. Hair on the body is called Roma. Anguli. Anguli means fingers. Fingers and toes, all of them have to be taken. Angushta, thumb. Angushta, thumb. Therefore, when you say, I am a great success, it is a Bhashyatma success. That is why you give thumbs up. These are all really, these are all play of Maya. It's just a play of Maya. It's just a play of bachon ka. You know, if somebody tries to be happy through this world, it is exactly like children on a rainy day make sand houses. Have you ever seen? And expecting to live in them. Expecting children hoping to live in those sand houses made in the sand on a rainy day. Similarly, if somebody says, I will make this and that and I will be happy, it's like that. It's a question of a few days. No. It's a passing phase. Life is a passing phase. Tvak, charma, nakha, mamsa, roma, anguli, angushta, prishta. Prishta means the back. The prishta. You can't see the back. That's called prishta. Vamsha, spinal column. Like a bamboo. Vamsha, like a backbone. Again, nakha. Again, nails. Maybe the nails of the toes. Then gulfa. Gulfa means ankles. They all form a part of the ankle. Gulfa. Udara, stomach. Nabhi, navel. Medra means the organ of procreation. Kati. The hips. The hips are called kati. Uru, thighs. Kapola. Kapola actually is this. Kapola. Skull, Kapala. It's called Kapola Kalpita. No. Kapola is. That is Lalata. Kapola is this. क्या फर्क पड़ता है? Swamiji, we should have a debate as to what is it. Oh Rama, where again we get back into the same problem. Bhru, eyebrows. Lalata, this forehead. Bhagavan, always it is considered to be Lalata Likitam. Bhagavan writes here. Why? So that you can never see it. If you can see what Bhagavan writes, you are going to change it. Bhagavan knows it. All jivas really, they are all very, very, very clever. Why? Because all jivas are, they have a bit of himself, you see. And therefore, if they come to know that their destiny it is not very good, then they will. Therefore, he has written it in such a manner where nobody can. He can't say. Lalata. Bahu. Arms. Parshva, the sides. Sides. Parshva means sides. Shirodhamanika. Shirodhamanika means all the arteries and veins that carry blood to and fro from the heart up to the head. They are called Shirodhamanika. Akshini, then the outer part of the eyes. The visible part of the eyes, not the sight, the visible leg, whatever it is. Shrotrani, the ears, the outer, visible part of the ears. Plus there are so many unmentioned things. Who is going to go on? He was greatly patient. A person like me, I can be as brave as I can. Do away with it and go for a cup of tea. But he was sitting in his, perhaps, he had some Ramanavami holiday. He went on writing so many details. Good enough. It means all anatomical details. That is the Tatparyam. Tatparyam should be, see, the brilliance of a person lies in figuring out the Tatparyam. The Tatparyam is all anatomical, why waste time? All anatomical details. When I stand equated with all the anatomical details, that is my external most imagined, erroneous, kalpita identity. This is my external most, the grossest identity. Identification, to stand as a form with all the anatomical details. Bhavanti, and then what is this identity? Jayate, it is born. It gets formed. In this context, I am going to clarify certain points. Mriyate, dies. This particular identity is born and dies. This identity, my external identity, is born and it dies. And this identity, when it is gone, I am not going to look at myself in that form again forever. It is not summer break. The break with this body is not going to be a summer break. Oh, it's gone forever. But Swamiji, you may say, you may become nostalgic, oh my God, I am never going to see. This is all, this problem, the prospect that I am never going to see this form again is a problem when I have the problem. But when I lose that form, then I am not going to miss it. Therefore, you don't have to become unnecessarily nostalgic. Oh my God, this form. एक बार छोड़ दिया फिर हमेशा के लिए. Then you start wondering. That is not the point to be wondered at. Because you can say what is the problem in losing something if I am not going to miss it? Is it not? Yes. Don't become nostalgic about losing things. If you don't miss it, that is your freedom. Not to miss is your freedom. Not to miss. Only in right understanding you don't miss. This form also, in sleep you don't miss. So after death also you are not going to miss this form. In sleep I don't miss this form, everything that is connected to this form also I don't miss. My wife I don't miss, my husband I don't miss, I don't miss my children, etc. I say this whole creation I don't miss. In fact, this whole creation. Why? Because the source never misses the creation. Because in sleep I stand as the source. therefore, think very deeply. This identity, this particular identity is gone forever. That doesn't mean there is no rebirth, because there is Antaratma which takes identity. Because who will be reborn? Who will take the next form? Antaratma, who is still in ignorance about himself. This is only a form. Form is not ignorant. I take the form. The conscious being takes the form due to certain ignorance about himself. Form is not ignorant. Form cannot be ignorant. Form cannot be enlightened. Is it not? Therefore, just because this will be gone forever, some people get the misconception. Terrible misconception. Oh, this is gone forever, where is the rebirth? This body doesn't take rebirth. Antaratma takes the rebirth. This we will see in the next class. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Mudachyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Happy Ram Navami. There is prasad. Who has brought it?
Santa. She has become a great grandmother.
Great. Haji, Thursday. Haji, there will be